Good afternoon, fellow Toastmasters. Richard Wolf here, Evangeline Toastmasters out of Lafayette, Louisiana, Division A in District 68. And I wanted to reach out today, spend just a few minutes talking about some of the basics in the Toastmasters organization, especially for the new members, but even some of you old and more seasoned, experienced members can probably get a few things out of this. I was going to talk about our two basic manuals, Competent Communicator and the Competent Leader book. And what I wanted to tell you, right off the bat, the first thing I wanted to bring up was page 60 through 88 in the Competent Communicator Manual. See, on page 60, we're going to start talking about the educational track. We're going to go into some more information and quite a good bit of education about your club, the president roles, and all the roles inside the club. It's going to talk about the positions in the club and other things that you want to fulfill. And also right here in the back, there's going to be a section for notes. Hey, that's a pretty novel idea, isn't it? Great place to put notes, right? But also something I want to point out that I see a lot of people miss from time to time is track your speeches. Put in your titles, the dates you give them, as you give your speeches and work through the book. It's going to save some time because right then, at the end of the meeting, when you give that 10th speech, you can submit your educational award to the Vice President of Education and they can send that off for your submission to get your pins and get your certificates in the mail and get your next two manuals to get you down the advanced communicator track. Now what I also want to talk about today is the Competent Leader Manual and a couple of key things. Now I know this is going to sound really basic, and so apologize in advance for that, but read the manual. Each and every project, 10 projects in the Competent Leader Manual, just like 10 speeches in the Competent Communicator, are going to work through all the different skills that you need to be a better leader. First project is listening. I think we can all agree that at home, in work, in our community, as well as Toastmasters, listening is a key skill and trait to have. So read through the project, see what it requires of you. At the end of this second page here, it's going to tell you what your assignments are. You're going to need to be a speech evaluator, table topic speaker, counter, or grammarian. Now, if you're a brand new member, the two easiest roles are going to be counter and grammarian. Now, if you're a more experienced person and have a little seasoning under your belt, then you might could jump into a table topic speaker. That's pretty easy too. Talk for about 1 to 2 minutes off the cuff about a topic you're given in the club. The second project is going to be critical thinking. Now in leadership, just like in life, critical thinking is pretty important, wouldn't you agree? The other thing I'd like to point out here is almost every one of these projects is going to have where do you think you sit right now evaluation in the beginning. Also, as you move to the back, when you have to fill the assignments, speech evaluator. Give this book to someone in the club to evaluate you during the meeting. So many times I see members run up to somebody after the meeting, "Oh, I was a speech evaluator. Can you evaluate me real quick?" Now, does that satisfy the rules? Yes, it does. But I'm a big proponent of we get out of Toastmasters what we put into it. So let's try to learn the skills as we go along. And let's dedicate ourselves to really working through the journey, enjoying what we're going through, and really grasping and pulling out the skills that we need to help us in Toastmasters, but in our life, our home life, in the community we live in and serve. It's going to make us better all the way around. Another page I want to point out real quick, right here in the front of the book, is the project completion record page. Much like the chart I just showed you from the CC manual, the Competent Communicator, it's going to tell you what you need to accomplish to fulfill the first project, second, third, fourth, all the way down the list. So have these initialed each and every time in the dates form at each and every meeting that you do. If your Vice President of Education is there, have him initial off as soon as you complete a project. This is going to keep you on track and on board And at any given time, someone asks you, well, where are you at in your CL manual? How long before you're done? You can say, well, let's look. Pop it open. Look here. Well, I've got 3 more projects, number 8, 9, and 10 to complete. Well, you know what? I was needing to do this. Why don't we work together and complete that project? We'll both get credit for it. Well, there's a great idea. How about that, buddy? So, I know I'm sounding a little facetious here, and I don't really mean to be. But so many times in the Toastmasters world, I see so many people not using the resources that we have. Toastmasters gives us every single tool that we need to be successful in the world of Toastmasters. The challenge that I find is that we don't own it. See, when you walk through the door of a Toastmasters Club meeting and you saw what was going on in the club, there was something there that intrigued you, that gave you the idea, you know what, I think I might can get something out of this club here. There's an event going on here, there's something in the room here that's happening that I think I can benefit from. So you got an application, filled in the information, you pulled out your credit card, your checkbook, or your cash, and you paid your membership. You did that for a reason. So think about what that reason was. What is the why in your Toastmasters journey? Was it just to be a little more confident in getting up in front and talking to people? Because you know that confidence, just talking in front of the room of these few folks, will definitely transfer to the rest of your life. When you're at work, giving a presentation in front of your peers, your bosses. When you're in the community, talking about something you're passionate about. Maybe it's a charitable organization that you want people to donate to. These skills will transfer everywhere you go. Now let's continue back on the leadership journey. Again, 10 projects in the Competent Leader, or I'm going to call CL manual going forward. Project 3 was giving feedback. 4, time management. 5, planning and implementation. 6, organization and delegation. 7, facilitation. 8, motivation. 9, mentoring. And 10, team building. Now, back up here to Project 8, motivation. Let's jump over there real quick. Project 8, motivation. How well do you motivate? How to motivate? Rewarding properly. Eliminate discouraging factors. And then what are our assignments for motivating? Well, we can be a Toastmaster, motivate the rest of the meeting to move effectively and forwardly, have a little fun, put some little anecdotes in the meeting, introducing people, enjoying that thing, speech evaluator, or motivating someone to correct some issues in their speech. We're encouraging them on what they did well, and we're going to give them some pointers to work on for the next speech that they give. General evaluator, he's going to evaluate the entire meeting. Quick key point here on the general evaluation is in this particular role, you're going to call for the roles, the timer, the accountant, or grammarian to give their input. Always be sure to put a positive spin on all of those roles. Many times the accountant and the grammarian, they're listening for the things we did wrong, which is part of their role, but we want to make sure we put that positive and encouraging spin on it. Because we listen to the accountant for filler words, because many times people, when they speak, we see them on television, we listen to them on radio and podcast, when there's a lot of uhs and ums, and you just know they're using filler words to get space because they don't know what they're going to say next. Those are very distracting. However, many times people will have an and, an or a but in the sentence structure itself. So do be careful to listen critically and specifically to make sure that you're not just counting those words, but they are effectively not being used effectively, my correction there, to fulfill a sentence structure instead of just a word to fill some space because they're not sure what they're going to say next. And then there's a couple of tasks on the motivating Project 8. chair a club membership campaign or contest, chair a club public relations campaign. Wow. This one gets me really excited, and let me tell you why. Wait, I'm motivated. That's the word I'm talking about. Public relations campaign, chair a club membership campaign or contest. Wow. You know what this brings to mind? It brings to mind another one of my hot topics, open houses. This is the opportunity for one, possibly two people to get credit for Project 8. One person can be the public relations chair for the open house. They're going to help get the word out in the community through the other Toastmasters in the club or through some organizations in the area to get the word out about Toastmasters to come and visit us. Or you can use an open house as a club membership building campaign. Listen, with some focused effort, I've seen clubs bring in 6, 8, 9 new members in an open house event. It's not that difficult. If you get the people in the room, you get a good sharp speaker that can give a good communication / leadership / a little bit of their story in Toastmasters speech, you can get people to join your club just like clockwork. I firmly believe in all my heart that the open house is the key to growing a club / area, division, and the district. Executed properly in a specific routine in a regular time frame, we will grow our clubs exponentially and will never, ever have a problem with membership again. And you know what you get when you don't have a problem with membership? Smoother running club, members showing up to fill all the roles and the agendas are always full. And another piece and a challenge many clubs have is filling the leadership roles every year as we turn the reins over to the next team. When you have a bunch of members, you've got more people that are looking for opportunities, and you can create those easily. So let's move on. Lastly, in the end of the motivation section, you've got the evaluations. Again, bring this to somebody before you fulfill this role. As a quick example, if you're taking care of the task, chair a club membership campaign or chair a club public relations campaign, there's about 4 questions here that they're going to grade you on. So they need to look at these questions before you fulfill the role and during the journey to see how well you do it. It's a simple needs, work, average, or outstanding result, 1, 2, or 3. But they need to know what they're looking for so they can be aware of it as they're evaluating you. Project number 9, mentoring. Excuse me. This brings up another hot topic that I'm really happy to talk about, is mentoring. The first question in this section is, how well do you mentor? A little evaluation for you. Talks about mentoring and how it reduces turnover. We'd like to do that inside our clubs, wouldn't we? It cultivates talent. Talented new leadership comes into the club. Well, number 3 bullet point here says, develops leaders. God, I love this book. I'm telling you, there's gold in this book right here, folks. Talks about the qualities of a mentor. See, it talks about how to mentor. And then it goes into your assignment. See, guys, I know, again, earlier in the video, I was kind of being facetious, and it was kind of half-hearted. But much of the information we need to get started is right here. Just got to read the book. It's not that difficult. If you need some more information past this, look, reach out to people in your club, the more experienced Toastmasters that have been around for a while. Reach out to your president, your vice president of education. Reach out to the area directors or the division directors. Project number 10, team building. Another one of my favorites. I love to work in a team. I like to see us when we reach a goal and succeed it or even surpass it. Talks about team building, how to build a team. It asks us, how well do you build teams currently? So what skills do I need to work on to get better inside of that? And it gives us a plan to how to build that team. And then walks into our assignment. Now this one here, you really just have to do two things. One is be the Toastmaster or the General Evaluator of the meeting. Those are the easier ones. And then the last one is one of these other tasks. A club membership campaign, PR campaign, chair a club contest, chair a club special event, serve as a club newsletter editor or webmaster. Again, none of these are difficult whatsoever. But again, before you serve in the role of Toastmaster, give someone your manual so they can look for these items during the meeting and not have to remember back and try to. The idea of these evaluations is there's a section here for feedback and input. You want people to give you feedback. This just tells you what you did in these areas, but what one thing could you may have done to do better in that particular role? So 10 projects, 10 new skills, and you'll become a competent leader. Last thing before I let you sneak away is right here in the back, starting on page 60, something about page 60 in these manuals. Oh, I'm sorry, starts on page 58, excuse me. The appendix. Now the appendix is going to walk through little special parts of each of the projects that we just talked about. See project 6, help organize a club contest or a special event or a membership campaign or contest. It gives you resources on where to go to look for ideas for this. Some of these will be online and they may be downloadable PDFs. Don't even cost you anything. Or I'll bet many of these might be a resource somewhere in your club. They might have a little folder box with some of this information, but you know what? You just have to ask. Because many times we get busy and we don't think about things. But it goes through all the projects and all the special tasks and gives you some ideas on where to find information to help you do these very well. Or how to get ideas on what kind of contest, what kind of campaigns, what kind of membership ideas we can come up with. Real easy and good stuff here. And then lastly, this last page that I think again gets overlooked quite a bit is evaluate your club. Again, in Toastmasters as in life, we should all be seeking feedback. We want to see how can we get better. You know, even the best clubs in the world that have everything clicking, they're getting their educational awards, all the new members are coming in, they're getting trained, everything's happening, dues are getting paid on time, it's just rolling right along. There's always little extras that we can do to maybe make an extra impact on a member or to help someone achieve an award that they really haven't even thought about. So evaluate your club. Turn it into the club president or vice president of education and use it as feedback within your club. Club leaders especially, take this and use it as feedback. So let's wrap this up. Again, Competent Leader book. I spent a little more time on it because this I think is one of the best kept secrets in Toastmasters. We don't use this manual nearly as well as we should to make ourselves better as leaders and help ourselves develop. The last thing I'm going to leave you with though is what's called the High Performance Leadership Program. If you're a new member and you come into Toastmasters and you're really looking to really grow your leadership skills more so than the communication skills, I suggest in the 3rd month of your membership, go to the Toastmasters website and purchase the High Performance Leadership Manual Kit. It's about $14. It'll be the best $14 you ever spent if you're truly looking to help yourself grow as a leader. Because there's a lot of great tools in there. It walks through the leadership skills and traits of a good leader. It walks through the 6 different categories of how leadership is. Talks about motivation, talks about encouraging, it talks about building a plan, setting a vision. It's a great program, if nothing else, just to study through. But you can get with the leadership in your club and come up with a project that might can help your club, maybe your city, or your area, your division, to put together some type of program, and you can be the leader to help execute it. Pull some other people in and help yourself become better. But it's a great program that doesn't need to be waiting until you reach the end of the journey to get to Advanced Leader Silver. It's something you can do now to help yourself. Again, Toastmasters at its core is a personal development organization. So think about that. Think about your reason why you joined Toastmasters. Dig into these manuals, the leader and the communication manual, and enjoy the journey. Come in for the ride and learn something. develop yourself, grow in self-confidence, encourage other people, and grow in self-esteem, because all it takes is a little bit of effort and you'll change your life with the Toastmasters program. But it takes your own efforts. No one can do it for you. The leadership can help, they can guide you, they can mentor you, but they cannot do it for you, and they shouldn't. Because if you're not committed, they're not going to be committed. So, thanks for listening. Have a great day. And if you need anything about Toastmasters or got any questions, please reach out to me with my contact info that's on the video. Have a great night. Catch you later. Bye-bye.